Hey there, guys. I'm fucked. JK, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. All right, anyway, if you haven't been informed, there is a new League of Legends patch set to come out. Question mark, question mark, question mark? Don't know. Nobody really does at this point. Perhaps you're from the future. Perhaps the patch is out where you are when you're watching this. You can go ahead and do me a favor. Just leave a comment telling me when it came out, so I know, so I know now personally. Thanks. But anyway, if you haven't really checked it out, they're making a lot of changes. Some of them questionable in my opinion, but either way, masteries are on the plate for now. I feel it's an overcomplicated system already. It's a bit too complicated for a PvP game like this, but we're gonna look at them. I think it'd be best to break them down by tree. Not really talking about builds, just talking about the changes. So I feel this is the best option. I'm gonna make 3 small videos on this. You could see them already. Okay, the green tree on the right. If you're playing AD, you may never have seen this tree. It's called the utility tree. It has some cool abilities in it. I'm here to tell you about them. You see the changes already, obviously visually. The left side, you see the Publishers Clearinghouse ad. Yeah, that's not product placement, folks. That's on the website. Anyway, that is the current one. Okay, new one is on the right. Take a look. They're obviously visually different. Might want to watch in 1080p. But I'm going to have a look at pretty much each individual box. Okay, and we'll talk about what's changed. I'll give my humble opinions on some of the changes. Not a pro. Okay. So I'm not really, this is just opinions. All right, let's get rocking though. We'll start by discussing the first tier, as some may call it. First ability on the left is Summoner's Insight. I think most people would agree they picked this because of what it does for Flash. 15-second cooldown, staying the same. I'll hover over the other one, still 15. Okay, so at the moment, nothing changed. Some of the other ones change. Teleport's got its cast time nerfed. It's less now, and Clarity's buffed. But I mean, you're likely using this for Flash, so you can check that out on your own. Next up, where's that? There it is. What used to be called Good Hands reduces time spent dead. I don't think many people use this, so it's probably a good idea that they got rid of it. Just completely gone, eliminated from the tree entirely. So we'll, keep on moving. This one here is on the old tree. Expanded Mind gave mana per level, flat mana. Okay, or energy perhaps. In place of that, we have Meditation now. Okay, which is essentially mana regen, which was down here. So try to follow along. This is gonna get convoluted. So they've bumped that up, and they've moved the other one down. Okay, so they've just switched spots. I don't really understand why, but they have. I guess it had something to do with people not getting far in this tree or something. But either way, they've switched spots. Okay, in place of the hands is now Wanderer. Wanderer is. It's going to go up to, let's see, all the way up to 2% increased movement speed when out of combat. Whereas the other one, also went to 2%. Okay, so they're the same. They once again have just moved it up. They've just bumped it up in place of the hands. The hands are gone. Okay, and then obviously we still have improved recall, which is the exact same, nothing different. Now, on the second tier, obviously, you'll see the changes immediately. We've already discussed most of them. The only big change we need to discuss here is Scout. Now, perhaps some of you use Scout. I liked it. It's not awesome, not amazing, but it seemed pretty cool. Made you feel like the wards were doing something a bit extra when you got this. So, it was pretty cool. Well, RIP, look what they did to it. They said now, fuck it. Oh, gotta get some points. Yeah, so it's just 25% increased vision for the first 3 seconds. 25% is a lot, but for the first 3 seconds, are you kidding me? Yeah, I don't know about that. Not sure people will use that one. The other changes, we'll go back to this. Here is Mastermind. Now this is a peculiar change. Put 3 points. It goes all the way up to 10%. Reduces the cooldown of summoner spells by 10%. Where the old Mastermind, which was the final point in the tree, went all the way up to 15%, but it was only 1 point. So they've bumped that all the way up to the second tier, which is peculiar, but that's an option there. It's decent, I guess. Depends on your choice, your preference. And then the Mind, we've talked about that. Now here's a new one entirely. This one's called Artificer. Artificer? Artifact, whatever. Somebody deals with artifacts. Artificer? I don't know. And anyway, it reduces the cooldown of activated items. Okay, so perhaps Shuralia's, an item like that. I don't know, Deathfire's Grasp. Any item that you would use, right, that you would use an active ability on, is now got its cooldown reduced by up to 15% when you get this talent. So, you know, cool, I guess. We'll see. Not sure. Next tier, we'll have the Greed. Once again, this is, let's make sure it's the same. 2 gold every 10. Yep, that's the same. 2 gold every 10. 4 points. They've bumped over the buff thing, but it's the same, I believe. Let's make sure. Yes, it's the exact same, so that's still there. And they've bumped Transmutation, which was the spell vamp, down a tier. We'll talk about that when we get to it. And they've added this one here, which was bumped up from the 5th tier from the previous one, which is Strength of Spirit, which you need to have points in here. So that goes up to 3 health regen per second for each 400 mana you possess, where it used to be, yeah, so, you know, not really changed, just bumped all the way up the tier. Not really sure, once again, don't know why they do this, but I'm sure there's some math behind it. So that's there. Could get it if you want. Here's another new one, which I like. This one's pretty neat. I like this one. Biscuiteer. Biscuiteer makes you start the game with an item that's essentially a health and mana potion. 80 health and 50 mana over 10 seconds. And I guess that's probably a one-time thing only, but it is a free mana potion or health potion, essentially. So I don't know. Might use it. We'll see, I guess. Don't really know. In terms of the 4th tier, this is the same. Starting gold by 50. It's called Wealth. Wealth was still... Okay, yeah, so it's up. It used to only be 40. Now it's 50. You'll still have the experience gain, which goes up to 5%. And that is the same as it was. And then this is gone. Sage, no longer there. Just completely removed. 40 bonus experience on champion kills and assists. Pretty sure they took this out for a very good reason. I don't think a lot of people were using this. But if you were, that's fine. You know, do what you gotta do. They've completely replaced it. So in the new one, we have Vampirism is what it's called now. It used to be called Transmutation for some fucking reason. I don't know why they would have changed that. That went up to 3. This one goes up to 3 as well. And this is the new one. It's called Explorer. Okay, another really, really cool idea. Grants a ward at the start of a 5v5 game that can be placed to reveal the surrounding area. For 60 seconds only, though. Okay, so you get a free 60-second ward. That's not very long, but it is a free ward for a fucking point in a mastery tree, you know? So I don't know. Might be used. Seems pretty interesting, so we'll see about that one. And then on all other maps, it grants 25 starting gold. So that's... I don't know why you're playing any other maps anyway, but that's that. And then the final... the 7th? No, the 5th? 5th tier. We have... Get over there. Yeah, it's called Pickpocket. Okay. This is an interesting one as well. It's going to grant gold every time you perform a basic attack with a 5-second ICD. Eternal cooldown. So you can only do this once every 5 seconds. Just basically melee attack a champion and get gold for it. Yeah, so that's curious. Not sure that's going to be a really, support aren't really going to benefit from that. I'm not sure about that one, but it's a cool idea. I'll give them that. The tree used to be there, but that's been bumped up. Don't forget. So, intelligence, 6% cooldown reduction. This one is the same, still 6%, still there. And the only big change now, obviously at the end, is, which has already been addressed, Mastermind being bumped all the way up and nerfed. And then now there's Nimble. Okay, you talk about Nimble because what it does is it gives you flat 3% increased movement speed. Now you say, well, what about previous one's Swiftness, which gave you 2%? That's been changed to Wanderer, which is now the top tier, which gives you 2% only out of combat. So you have to make a decision. You have to say, do I want them both? Do I only want one? I don't know exactly yet, but it's curious. I like movement speed as a support. It's pretty solid, obviously, to be able to walk around and ward without having to worry about time wasted. But I don't know. Out of combat and then 3% in combat. So that's that for the tree. General changes. I like it. Okay, I do. It's cool. I'm not a big fan of changes like this in a game like this. This game doesn't need to change. I'll put my opinions down on the table. This game never needs to change. Dota 1 has been the same for 15 years. You know what I mean? It doesn't need to change. But anyway, I do like it. It's cool. There's some new ideas coming in. That's pretty cool. I hope they fix some other shit before they start worrying about this kind of stuff. But this is cool. I'm down with it. I like the ward. I like the cookie that you give, the biscuit or whatever. What do you guys think? You like this stuff? Let me know. Comments. Otherwise, that's it. We're going to do all three of these, so I'm not going to be coming out back to back, but they'll be out, so enjoy. I can't wait for the new patch, so if you guys know when it comes out, let me know.